getting guys here for these couple of days, and what do you want to accomplish with them?
Number one, get to know them. We want to connect with them and kind of learn what they're about. The draft process is so fun, but it's so just interesting because you know about them, you've talked to them a little bit, you've done the research, but until you kind of get them here and around them about what makes them tick, what do they love, what motivates them, how do they learn, some of the stories are just really inspiring. So that would be number one. Number two is try to get them caught up a little bit to our vets. We'll never get them. It's going to take them a while to get caught up to the vets because we've been working through phase two, but that would be the next thing. And then we wanted to get out here today on the grass and let them move around a little bit because we transitioned Monday with the vets where they're out there. And so we thought we'd kind of teach this more like a phase two day, like a ramp up day where they're feeling good when they know when we get out here with the vets on Monday that they got a good feel for it.
How beneficial was last year for you in an advisory role to what you're doing now?
Well, I think beneficial in the fact that I know a lot of the people. This is a people business. It really is. The best part of any organization that I've been in part of that's been a winning team, winning organization like this one is the people. Knowing the players, knowing some of the coaches, and then just seeing how special our locker room is. I know people talk about that, but like it's real. It's a tangible thing. We actually talked to the rookies about that their first day got here. You're coming into a really special situation where there's veteran leaders, there's really young, talented players that are going to take another step in year two or year three, things like that. So where they fit in and how they watch these guys kind of set the standard. But that's the biggest benefit is the people part.
Where are you guys in the process, you and Mike, and putting this thing together offensively and the changes in the last couple months you guys have?
Yeah, it's been a grind. It's been fun. As you guys know, look, the system's not broke. I mean, it's not broken. They've won a lot of games here. Mike's been around for that. They've scored a ton of points. I have a ton of respect for Kellen and Nuss and Skip and Philbin, those guys. I mean, I've coached with most of those guys before. But in terms of the process, we're getting organized for OTAs, and we've had a lot of discussions. It's certainly a starting point. When you put in OTA install 1 and you go through the process, there'll be things maybe in OTA install 1 that might be a little different in training camp install 1. But the way it's set up is pretty cool. They hear it in phase 2 for the first time, so our vets have heard really we're 12 concept teach days in. Okay, so a concept teach day is basically where we take a family of plays and install those. All the different adjustments and things with not as many formations. And then when we get into OTAs, we'll actually put together real installs with specific formations and builds, and then we'll tweak those as we prepare for training camp. So when you do it right, which I think we're doing it right, they hear it one time in phase 1 and phase 2. They hear it again in OTAs. They hear it again in minicamp, and then you try to perfect it when you get to training camp. That's at least the goal. I've always looked at it as a coordinator is that you teach the system in phase 1, okay, in phase 2, you try to detail it in OTAs, phase 3, and then the goal is to come out where you've perfected it and the guys can play fast and react, and that's what you're trying to get done in training camp and preseason games.
What's your first memory with Mike?
It's easy memory. He was in charge of self-scout, quality control, and he brought me a binder about this big of all the reports that I was responsible for. And I had been in St. Louis with Coach Vermeil, who was very meticulous, which is good because I cut my teeth with Coach Vermeil. But Mike brought this book in and basically dropped it on the table and said, hey, this is where you're starting. And I was like, oh, my gosh. He just he taught me how important it was to learn the game. I mean, I think 2 years removed from college. I went to St. Louis for a year, and then I wanted to move around as a young coach. So I wanted to work for my dad. That was something I wanted to do. And Mike was great. Jimmy Ray was great. Was around Mike Solari. A lot of these guys have really just invested in me, and a lot of my foundations and principles and things I believe in come from all those guys. And so he's a hell of a football coach.
What have you thought of working with Dak Prescott, and how do you help him maybe take his game to the next level?
Well, first of all, I love him. I've always admired him from afar, competed with him, against him many times. I reminded them we got the best of them in 19 up in Seattle, but they got us in the playoffs in 18. So I think we're close to even. But I love the man. I love the work ethic. He's just a tireless preparer. The way the guys follow him, the way he wants to be coached, the way he wants to be open-minded to trying different things from a fundamental standpoint and things like that. That shows you a sign of a true winner, a champion, and it's been awesome. I'm looking forward to working with him and really all the guys. All the guys have been great, and I think that's the thing. Again, I want to make sure that they feel, because I know I feel it, is the connection piece is real, and we want these guys to be connected. We truly look at it like a family. I told the Rooks the other day, like, really, when you think about it, families, they love one another. They care about one another. Okay, they also are going to argue at times. They're going to disagree on things, but as long as you have that unbreakable trust, it's going to be a huge success, which is what we're expecting.
Schoonmaker, how do you see him contributing in what areas and what facets of his game do you feel like you can tap into right away?
Yeah, really excited that we got Luke. The way it fell was great. I think when you look at him, he's the guy that we felt really could do everything, right? He can control the C gap in the run game. He's been well coached. He's real polished in the run game because of the way he was taught at Michigan, his strength, his lower body strength, his ability to fit combinations. But you don't realize how fast the guy is. I mean, he's a legit 4.58 guy, and I think there's some things that we're really excited about that he can bring us from a vertical standpoint of stretching the defense vertically. Again, it fell to where we were really excited to get him, and we feel really good. I feel really good about that entire tight end room. It's a really good young tight end room. They played a lot of football last year, which is great, and I think Luke just falls right in the mix with it.
How different will it be for you as the coordinator not to call the plays? I'm not sure if you've been in that situation before.
No, I have not. You know, I'm excited about it. I really am. There's no ego on my part. I just want to win. I want to help this team win, really for the players first and foremost, for the organization, for the Jones family. Certainly all the respect in the world for Mike. And that's my job. My job is to help prepare our guys, prepare the staff, and to be in a position to where we feel like we can go out there every week and compete and stack a lot of wins together. So I'm excited about the process, but it'll definitely be a little bit different just because I've never done it.
Coach, in a few words, can you describe what your desire for this offense to be identity-wise?
Yeah, I think, you know, we always talk about our play style. So that's something we're always going to talk about, our play style. You know, what's that mean? It means we want to play physical. You know, we want to play fast. We want to make people cover the entire field. That would be the first thing. The next thing I want to see, which is where we're kind of focused now, is fundamentally sound, right? We're on the process where we can't get in pads. We can't hit. We can't use helmets, okay? We can throw and catch, but really the magic of what you're trying to do right now in these next couple weeks leading up through the break is to develop those fundamentals. So I was taught a long time ago that, you know, the biggest difference with the NFL and college is there's so much parity and there's not a huge difference in talent. And so the players that end up winning the overall one-on-one battle, let's say in a 70-play game, is the guy that's got a better foundation of fundamentals to pull from. So if I'm Tyler Smith and I'm going up against a great edge rusher and I've got really good sound fundamentals and there's 70 opportunities, we expect with those fundamentals he should win his fair share, 40, 45 of those, whatever that is, because he's got that base of fundamentals to pull from.
Is it fair to say that you want to simplify things for the offense?
I want us to be able to play fast. And so to do that, yeah, we want them, you know, I've called it, referred to as kind of like a player's mind. The players, when they are free thinking and free flowing because they know what they're doing, they can play fast. And so that's certainly an objective of, like we talked about, how you got to build it through this phase, getting into OTAs, and then get ready to go to training camp.
When you've called offenses before, where have you been on the sideline? Were you up in the box?
I've done both. Yeah, I've done more of my years have been on the sideline, but I did go in Seattle the last year into the box. So there's no question you see it better up there. But I don't think Mike will trade with me. I don't think he'll go in the box and let me go down. So we'll see. We haven't figured that out. Again, a lot of it will be just communication between Mike and I and Dak and some of the players. But there's no question you see it better in the box. And on the field, it's just a little bit quicker and easier to make some adjustments.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys. Look forward to getting to know you guys. Yep, thanks, guys.